Welcome back to another episode of Pickpackers. My name is Crandall.
And I go by Myrtle.
And today we're in Piscataway, and we're going to take you away on a magical, sensual journey through time and space. And we have a really special pick today, and we'll get to that in a minute. But first, I just want to address the elephant in the room. It's been a while since we were last on, and so we're glad to be back.
Piscataway is a good place for new beginnings. I think a lot of people say that.
Yeah. The funny thing about beginnings is that they never end. And when we come to a space to discuss this art form of picking, it's always new. It's always a new beginning.
Yeah. Like this morning when we were driving to get here, we were driving on a long road and we had to pass through quail country. And that's not always easy for me.
Yeah.
I think the quail are known to get pretty aggressive this time of year. And, I mean, we made it, so we're already off to a good start.
Yeah, that's very true. My great-grandfather was a quail hunter, and he would always bring a lucky whistle with him. And one day when he was hunting, he fell under the ice, and he blew his whistle as hard as he could, but nobody heard.
So this is a really interesting pack of toothpicks we have on the spinner today.
Yeah. Just look at it. It has a kind of a hexagon container.
Talk about brand new. That's not something I've ever seen.
Yeah, the hexagon, you look at it and it just says stop. Take a moment to really appreciate how special it is.
The spinner is revolving, like the earth never stops revolving, but sometimes everything that you can learn from life, you can learn from looking at a stop sign.
Yeah. And these picks come from a very special place to us. They come from the United Kingdom.
So what's the story with that? How did you get this pack?
Well, it's a long story. Somebody, maybe a few years ago, mailed them.
So this pack is from the UK?
It is.
I've been dreaming of Britain lately.
And as our viewer might have guessed, This is a hardy pack. You can feel the density of the wood before even physically feeling it. There's something about yeah, there's just something about it. Do you want to do the honor of reading the barcode?
Sure. 5, 0, 1, 2, 1, 4, 5, 0, 1, 3.
Wow.
2, 2, 2.
Wow, you really caught me off guard with those last 3 twos. I was already kind of in a state of pure bliss, and then I heard the 3 twos, and it just kind of took me there.
They caught me off guard as well. And it says approx contents N1141, which I couldn't even begin to unpack, because that doesn't really give me any information about the contents. I think you might actually need one of those scanners to really get good. But we have a character on this label, I presume to be Caroline, in one of her forms.
Did you say in one of her farms? I kind of imagine her on like a bumbling blueberry brook farm. Should we crack that open?
Yeah. We can always come back to the label. I think, since I had the honor of reading the barcode, I'm going to pass this to you also because it was shipped to you from London, and that's how you open it. Have fun with that.
Thank you. Yeah, the barcode looks just even more wild in person. So it's 150 approximate count. That would probably last me about, I don't know, what do you think, 3, 4 hours?
150 is a good amount because you could go on you could just be out in the remote wilderness, no cell service, and all you have is that, and it's just a good kind of all-in-one survival kit because we'll get into that in future episodes, kind of like different things. You can wield them. You can you could build a pretty good trap if you're hunting, trapping.
Yeah, like you could build a trap and then trap a rodent and then build a raft for the rodent and then place the rodent on the raft and send them down the river to civilization with a message. And then maybe your mother would love you again. Well, I think I'm gonna That's power.
That's some of the finest packing work I've seen. I mean, you can tell by the sound.
Yeah.
So if you have a pack at home and you have any doubt as to the integrity of how it was packed, just give it kind of a few jingles and there's your answer.
Yeah, it's just sheer density. Well, God bless the child. Wow. Look at how much is revealed just instantly. It's like kind of like a hula skirt where you just see so much beauty presented just right away. Like, I wasn't expecting to see so much skin of the pick right away. That's a reveal. That might be the best reveal.
Are we getting this?
This might be the best reveal so far.
This is something that we're witnessing all at the same time. None of us expected it to be like this, but there's a lot to take in.
They're very secure. And it makes me think, what could you do with this?
You could sprout some beans. You could sprout a number of herbs. It's kind of like a mini little. Again, back to rodents. A lot of purposes for rodents.
Listen to this. You can hear the tips. You can hear how finely honed they are. Hear that?
This is my better ear. Oh yeah, I hear that. Okay, well, now that we've gotten a chance to admire the handiwork of castleviewenterprises.co.uk is where you can find them.
Yeah, I think they actually make these in castles. They have people that dress up kind of like knights, and they take an old piece of wood and they shave. The knights shave with their swords in an old castle, so they're castle forged British picks. Do they have any kind of aroma?
Dude.
It's the first thing that comes to mind.
Kind of feel like I'm in a bakery in a cellar where they're just starting to get the flour and starting to get the dough kneaded. And it's like a bakery before anything has been baked in the morning.
I just had a really strong visual of Anne Frank just kind of hopping out of a cupboard in the cellar, just being like, "What's up, guys? Can I try?" let me try a pick. And she's kind of covered in flour from playing and rolling around, kind of like a silly little puppy, and she has her handprints just tracked all over the floor.
Yeah, so I would
Yeah.
say I'm about ready to try them after hearing all that.
Yeah, I think just to sort of cut the tension in the room, we should address these wicker balls on the table. A few weeks ago, my pet tortoise, Rachel, passed away, and somebody gifted me these wicker balls as a memoriam to her. And so I would like to dedicate these picks to Rachel and her everlasting memory.
Cool.
Maybe wait till it gets all the way around for you to get one.
It's pretty hot for a March day, but
March Madness.
I'm going to leave this sweater on because I kind of made some promises to some people. So, I don't know, I'm getting ready. Has it spun around to me yet?
It did, but then when you said that, you missed it, so we have to wait for it to go around again. When you see her polka dots, then you can dive in there.
Cool.
Speaking of diving, I always wanted to be an Olympian diver. Should we? Wow. I feel like I can taste England. Are you getting that at all? I feel like I should be wearing like a red suit with one of those black hats right now. This is just such a privilege. Imported picks. I think this might be our first episode of imported picks.
It could be. Unless you count tea tree therapy, which is from Australia, but these were personally sent to us by a fan.
She's a good girl. Yeah. So good. So what do you think about these?
Yeah, a lot of emotions come to the surface. Especially anytime we're reviewing like a unflavored pick, just the pure wood, because it's kind of like a canvas for emotion.
Yeah, it's like a canopy.
So any of our viewers, if you can relate to that, maybe leave a comment, sharing like the first emotion that comes to mind,
Yeah.
or to the surface, because we can really leave it at that.
And I would even add to that share with us your first emotion that you can remember having in your life. Because as pickers, we need to get in touch with our inner state and our qualities of being. And for me, this pick reminds me a lot of being at the beach and just watching the waves roll in and the sand sitting there and the occasional seagull flapping its wings and just the sounds of children crying in the distance. Dishwashers. I was thinking dishwashers.
Yeah.
We could need pick washers, some kind of a machine where if you don't compromise the tip, that you can just put the pick right in the pick washer. And it would be really environmentally regal is the word I think I'm looking for.
Yeah. Couldn't have said that better. And so I invite our viewers, if anything we've said today has really touched you or inspired any new ideas, just maybe keep the idea inside and let it germinate into a beautiful garden.
And sending blessings to you from Piscataway. This is Pickpackers, over and out.